Welcome back, guys. Ghetto Rig, episode number 261, right? And we have a special guest today with us. My name is Jay, and all the way to my right, we have my co-host Eddy. Behind the camera, we have Miggy. Our special guest is Chris. He's been on a pod several times, and I know y'all wondering what the hell is this in the middle of the couch. But before we get into it, let's talk about our sponsors: UFC Gym Largo in St. Petersburg, also Vitality 1 and 2. Now, Chris was gracious enough to say, yeah, boys, I'll come back on the pod again. And this time, I'm going to bring something with me. So, Chris, you want to introduce yourself really quickly for those that haven't seen you before? And then kind of like talk to us about what the hell is this thing?
Yeah, so I'm Chris. My fight name is the Cali Reaper. You guys probably seen me before. I'm always the beautiful Mexican on the couch.
Our favorite Mexican, that's for sure.
Emphasis on beautiful.
I was gracious enough to be able to fight this weekend on the 25th. Fought at Valhalla for a super fight. Ended up winning the fight. I was lucky enough to have Jay there and a bunch of the guys supporting me, so it was cool.
While he's talking, I'm going to point this so everybody can kind of see what it looks like. The camera doesn't grab the whole thing.
We'll zoom out.
Zoom out on that thing. There we go. Boom. There you all have it.
Yeah, but it was cool, man. Like definitely different experience. Competing from wrestling, it almost feels like a finals match in wrestling because everybody's cheering for you and you come out the same way with music and stuff like that. But it was pretty cool. It's a cool experience. I could talk about my experience in the cage, and I would love to hear Jerry's experience being like a spectator at one of those events too.
Yeah. So basically, the way it kind of happened, I was spectating there, and then his final round, I went and took the coach's corner because I couldn't find Zach, so I threw the thing on my neck and I went there. But it was different. It's a very different type of feeling when you're just watching versus you're right there, and whatever you say might help the fighter, to advance. It's loud, so I learned one thing very quickly: you have to be really, really loud for them to hear you. It's super loud in there. But yeah, Chris, the kid that he was fighting had purple hair, so I told him he should win because he's a liberal,
Instantly made him soft, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And he had his nails painted. There's a part where you go ahead, talk about it a little bit, like the clinching and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. So he's a kickboxer. So obviously, if anybody knows anything about MMA, to isolate a striker, you close the distance so that you don't get that when you're jabbing. You don't get that snap out when those punches. So I was closing the distance. Like I said, I had Nick, Yuri, Jay, Zach, my training partner Ashton, all those guys. We came with a game plan and stuck to the game plan, and that's what ended up winning us the fight.
Can I say it? He literally dominated all 3 rounds. I'm talking about 10 seconds into it, kid was on the ground and it was just ground and pound from there. Like the entire match, all 3 rounds. My opinion, they should have pulled that. They should have called it on the first round because kid had no chance. But anyway, continue, Chris.
Fights up on YouTube already, or
It's not on YouTube.
where did they stream it?
It was a pay-per-view.
Really?
Yeah, it was a pay-per-view fight. There's some photos on my Instagram. I made like a reel or like a picture thing.
Yeah, what do they call that? The carousel?
Yeah.
Carousel, like bunch of pictures.
So there's like a couple of pictures on there. I made like a reel on like what's that thing called? TikTok. I barely found out what TikTok was.
Was there a different feeling? Because you've competed in sports before. We know you've wrestled a bunch. So
yeah, you can go through.
Was
the
there a
pictures
different
on that
feeling
one,
knowing like this
one.
is the first time going into this new discipline, or did it kind of feel the same, like another competition?
It was different because competing in college and stuff like that, like it's very competitive, but the fight game, you have all your emotions. You have nervousness, you have excitement, you have anger, and like you're it's a dance with your demons, let alone dance with your opponent. So like I had a lot of.
How was the adrenaline though? Because this is the first one for you in this type, right?
But
you've had so many high level competitions, so it's kind of hard to judge, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think the adrenaline dump wasn't so bad just because of competing in like a high level like grappling stuff like that. But as far as the other stuff, man, like it's a different feeling because you're getting locked in a cage. And I told this before to some people, like growing up in a rough area, there's so much violence, and it's weird to say. I find the violence in MMA, like it's a beautiful violence because I only got to worry about one person across from me. I don't got to worry about getting shot at. Don't got to worry about getting stabbed. It's literally just a guy across from me and the refs in there to make sure no one dies.
But can we talk about the road that it take you there? You lost what, 70 or 80 pounds
Yep.
just to be able to fight?
Yeah, I started at 409 and I cut down, weighed in at 341 for the fight. I think the cap was at 350, and just the camp itself. Anybody that tells you fight camp is all sunshines and rainbows is a fucking liar. You're gonna have highs and lows through the training. It's a different grind. Like wrestling was a grind, but now you're getting punched in the face and you're doing wrestling and you got to worry about getting submitted. There's like a lot more aspect to it, and
But the kid, I think the kid was heavier than Chris. I think the kid probably had about 20 pounds on him. He looked heavier. Not, I don't know. Maybe he was just hydrated back. I don't know, but he looked heavier.
yeah, it was definitely unique for sure. More power to him, man. Like he took a lot of shots to the face.
He did.
Um,
A
took
lot
a
of
lot
hammer fists.
Yeah.
A lot of hammer fists.
a lot of body shots, and he's a tough dude, man. Like it takes a lot to get punched in the face and keep coming, and he went all 9 rounds. It didn't go his way, but I'm looking forward to seeing him grow from it. There's always that mutual respect when you share a cage with somebody. It's not. It's
Nice
not
guy
always,
though. Nice guy.
Yeah, super nice dude. It's not always what you see on TV where everybody hates everybody. It's a sport, and it's cool, man. He's a tough dude. More power to him. I hope he comes back from it, bounces back, and gets a win in his next fight.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you have how soon are you getting plans together to maybe start another fight going?
So I was literally just talking to Coach Nick about this, and I'm probably gonna fight January 17th. I'm gonna start training for the U.S. Open in April, and I want to do that. I have unfinished business with wrestling. It's a personal thing for me, so I want to do the U.S. Open, and then after that, if I place whatever top 3, then I'll try to go for the World Trials. If not, that's cool with me. I just want to compete in the U.S. Open and hit the ground running fighting. I'm going to take this fight probably January 17th, which will probably be in Tampa. And hopefully my teammate will be on that card too, so we'll both be fighting. So there'll be 2 fighters for the UFC gyms instead of 1 this time. Because there's not really many guys fighting right now at the gyms besides like Tony, who's fighting on November 7th to defend his title. And Tony, the Daywalker.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fighting November 7th. You should check him out, man. He's gonna bring the belt back.
And like that, walking up to the cage, getting in there and doing all that. What is your, they always say competition, you learn tenfold, right? What do you think your biggest lesson was after all that whole experience, like from top to bottom? Not maybe just the fighting, maybe preparation for mental things for when you're getting there, or even like little routine things. Like, everyone seems to develop their own routine as they get to a place and get ready and warm up for a fight.
So what I learned, it was cool, man, because I had such high level coaches in my corner with Nick and Yuri that
Zach too. Zach's up there too.
Yeah, and Zach too. So like their mindset to competing, 1, helped me calm my nerves, and 2, they gave me like little nuggets here and there where we did like this breathing ritual that like just relaxes the body, and like all the fucking worries just like kind of just float out. And I've never done that before. That was my first time, and that helped out a lot. I realized even though I'm a heavier guy fighting at a fast-paced sport, I have the cardio to go 9 minutes if I need to, which was, I'll be honest, was surprising to me because 340 is a lot of weight to push around. Now I'm pushing his weight around. Knowing that I wasn't like I probably could have won another 2 rounds in that fight and wasn't gassed as much as I thought I was gonna be.
Right.
Yeah. So that was another thing I took away from that. I couldn't learn too much from the fight itself. Granted that I had mostly had control the whole fight. Like usually 10 seconds or 15 seconds into the round, I already had him on the ground, and I was already working ground to
Well,
pounds.
he had 100% control on the ground with like what 50 plus significant strikes versus 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this was a kickboxer he went against. You know what I mean? So the guy didn't even have a chance to let one go.
How did that? I'm assuming game plan like you said earlier. As a grappler going against a kickboxer, game plan is take him down, beat the shit out of him on the floor.
Yep.
Right. How did you expect it to? Did you expect it to go down as it did?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've literally been envisioning this fight since I took the fight in April. Like I said, I've been talking to Yuri, Nick, all the guys. Like we've been, like that has been our game plan from the beginning for this fight. Granted, every fight is a different game plan. So, like, say you find another wrestler, we're probably gonna stay on our feet, throw. But if it's a striker, they're comfortable in the striking, we're going to take you in your uncomfortable zone. So if I fight a wrestler next or a jits guy, they're comfortable on the ground, we're going to stay standing. So it just depends on the thing, man. And it's, like I said, I was truly blessed to have those guys in my corner because, like, I was getting my hands wrapped and, like, you hear people like, is that fucking Nick Fichetti? And they're like, who is they doing like special guests? And then Yuri comes up, taps me on the shoulder, getting my hands wrapped. They're like, is that fucking Yuri Simone? They're like, who the fuck is this guy with these high level coaches? And I was, no one knows anything about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm an 0-0 fighter. So all they know is I'm a super fight making a main card on my first fight. So that's all they know about me. So like all the other fighters had like questions. But when you're in that mindset, like I'm not really a people person and talking anyways. And then let alone I'm staying mentally ready for the fight. So like people had all these questions after the fight, which I'm obviously more talkative after the fight because everything's done. So it was cool talking to those guys after that. And a lot of the guys that are like even fighting, they're like, I know we're fighting, but we're more excited about your fight than our fight because we want to watch your fight. And learned a lot, man.
That must be cool to hear.
Yeah, and like they had they have a heavyweight there that was commentating, and he's like ranked number 1, and it was cool to get props from him because I think he's about to go pro here shortly, and I think he's 7-1, 7-2. So like just getting props from a guy that's ranked number 1 in amateur right now, saying like, dude, like good shit, because it's your peers. Like the only ones you really care about are your coaches and your peers. Because what they see you is what is sorry to be like I love the fans, love all that, but what they see is most important to me at least.
In most of these fights, there's not much research you can do on an opponent, right? Because they're both like it's kind of like going out the gates blind. Because most of the other fights you fight, you can always find something about somebody's 2025. YouTube has something, Instagram has something. You can.
Was this guy? Is it his debut as well?
For MMA.
Okay.
I think he had one exhibition MMA match. I couldn't find anything on this dude, honestly, on the internet. I'd be lying if I said I didn't look. I just happened to be at one of his fights for his kickboxing one.
Well, you'd be stupid if you didn't look. That's like doing homework, right?
Yeah, so like it's like watching game film for like football and stuff like that. So I just happened to be at his fight when he did his kickboxing match because my buddy Sammy was fighting for a title, and it just happened to be that he was on the card. So
You got to watch him in person and everything.
In person. So no one knew anything about me, but I knew a little bit about him just off the kickboxing.
How did you do in that kickboxing fight?
He lost that fight, but you can see he has pretty decent stand-up when he can throw. So
he's a heavy dude. If he puts that weight behind those punches and kicks, I mean, they're coming.
So he has decent stand-up when you let him throw. So I knew that, and I told that to my coaches. So our game plan was smother the punches and get him off his feet so that way he can't throw kicks, can't throw punches, and I don't got to worry about anything else because
Did he ever stand up after you took him down, or it was
Nope.
once he was down?
No,
he
down,
he didn't
Once
get
he was
back up?
down, he wasn't getting up.
You got to think about it. For him to stand up, not only had to lift his weight up. Let's just say both you were at 340. On top of that, he had to be able to push Chris, who's 340, off of him. That's a lot of weight for somebody, and it's not dead weight. You're moving, right? So if it was dead weight, maybe, but this is not dead weight. You
Chris
got
was in the cases of hearing that little Dagestan.
yeah, well, I mean, you got a guy on top of you that's throwing hammer punches, right? Like his thing was to survive. Like his game plan coming in was like keep the distance probably, but he wasn't able to do that. You know, he did tag Chris a couple of times when I was watching him. He did tag him 3 times or something like that. Yeah, he did tag him, but it wasn't enough for him to keep that distance, right? To continuously tag. Where Chris was just in there, boom, clinch, he's on the ground. Now it's just ground.
I mean, as a striker going against a grappler, right? I'm assuming. Do you know if he knew that you were a grappler?
Yeah, he knew because they had an interview on we did an interview with Diamond Point Sports, and like I said, I am a student of the game, so I try to find everything under the sun for you. And he even said in his camp that he's more of like a kind of like an Anderson Silva, like he's more of like a counter striker. And he said
which is against the wrestler probably the worst thing to do is being a counter striker. You know what I mean?
And he said he worked a lot on his wrestling. He came up to me after the fight too, and he's like, dude, he's like, it's a different wrestling. It's like a different level of wrestling there that he's not used to.
Because I tried helping him when he's preparing for the fight. I honestly think we don't really have that many guys that are like at that weight category as Chris to give him that feeling of somebody being on top of you, smothering. Like I can throw all my weight on, but I'm only 170, 180 pounds, right? Like it's just not gonna compare.
You're
you know
a
what I mean?
pebble against a boulder, bro. You're not gonna do much.
Yeah, even though I'm condensed, right? It's still not enough to put the enough pressure and strength behind it to keep him down on the ground, constantly coming for him,
Maybe
like
Ozzy?
pulling his arms off.
Maybe Ozzy could take it.
Maybe Ozzy, but even Ozzy, like the only thing
The
that
thing
could
is
probably
the levels of wrestling are completely different. Even though he has like this,
That's
maybe
true.
getting a little bit closer than someone like Jay in weight, right? Like it's like if you did a side control drill, right, where he's just like, all right, you're on bottom, he's on top. Like, yeah, he's gonna apply good pressure and all these things, but your wrestling technique is way higher, and it's just not gonna be really efficient training at a certain standpoint, right? Reps are reps at the end of the day, right, which is always good. Not saying it's bad, but the best thing is having a guy your weight, your size.
Well, the one thing we could have done is playing the tag game with him, where he's like coming after you. He cannot punch. His goal is to take you down, but we're tagging him, like constantly tagging him and moving away, tagging him and moving away. That could have maybe prepared him to fight with a kickboxer that's like maybe much better with his legs and arms, and for him to close the distance and take him down. So that's something we could have helped him with, right? Because again, we're probably going to be, even though we don't have the skill level, we're probably going to be much faster than this kid at tagging. You know what I mean? Just because we're much lighter on our feet.
I mean, as a striker going up against a wrestler, though, it's like one thing is definitely pressure, right? You gotta actually force them on their back foot versus because it's you gotta try and fight them at certain parts of their own game, right? A wrestler's gonna come in, he's gonna put you up against that cage, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened all 3 rounds.
Right.
Well, he came in straight through, boom, single leg. No, it wasn't a single leg. It was just like a high crotch both times. Like, picked him up like a feather, threw him on the ground.
And it's
from
weird
there,
because
game
as
over.
a striker, I'm saying, oh, you need a lot of pressure, which sounds almost counterintuitive, right? Because like, oh, I'm moving towards him and he's trying to get close to distance. You have to do that proactively with your strikes, right? Back them up because by not just stepping forward, no, back them up with strikes, push them forward. There's a lot of push kicks, all those different things can effectively build distance, and the best strikers in MMA do so, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, though, most important thing is takedown defense, because you can do that all fight, but they're still gonna shoot. They're still gonna shoot.
Well, so Chris is playing. Well, what are you playing? 286 is it the weight you're planning for the U.S. Open?
Yeah, so it's gonna be 286.9, I think, is what the U.S. Open thing, because it's freestyle. So I'm gonna cut down to 289 to wrestle at the U.S. Open, and then heavyweight is only 20 pounds less than that, and hopefully I can start climbing the ranks for that, collect a couple amateur belts, and then my goal is to go pro 2027. So that gives me about 2 years of actually putting jiu-jitsu together, putting wrestling together, putting striking together,
And I think you can go probably down to 205. Honestly, if you can get down that much, you probably can be able to go down to 205 by 2027. You know what I mean? The consistency. I think you should be able to do that.
How difficult or easy did you find it to blend the different martial arts? You know, taking someone down instantly, knowing ground and pound, but at the same time, while you're doing that, applying that ground and pound, paying attention to, are they building their base, posture coming up? Are they trying to get their legs in front of them? All those things at the same time while striking, or backwards as well, right? How did you find that mix? A lot of people say that's like the hardest thing for MMA fighters to kind of get their mind wrapped around, especially when they come from a specific discipline.
I don't think. Well, that's the thing. It also depends on the coaches, because Yuri is a pro fighter, Nick's a pro fighter, so they already know how to instill that into their fighters. So the transition into ground and pound. What do you think, Jay? It didn't take long.
He said, "What do you
I
think,
love
Coach?"
that.
No, literally, it was 15 seconds. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
15 seconds each round.
Once I took him down, I was already punching him.
And then at that point, it was like working with that dummy, right? Like that's literally what it came down to. Yeah, the kid was trying to move. As the kid was trying to move, he pushed him right back to the ground, kind of, and then back to the face, right? Like that takes it away. The kid would get like a little breather, try to come up, boom, back to the face again, you know, and it was just kind of keeping him down on that ground. And it was like a side control situation the entire time. It didn't even go into any kind of guards or anything like that. It was just straight side control and just ground and pound.
And he was too wide to go in mount. I wouldn't felt comfortable being in mount, because my knees probably wouldn't be touching the ground.
Yeah.
No, they would not have.
So
they would not have.
like
I got short legs. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So
it's not even about short legs. It's about
short legs.
whether you'll
and a
be
bigger
able
dude.
to even mount him to begin with. Whether your legs are gonna like open that wide.
you saw the picture. He was a wide dude.
Yeah.
He was a wide guy.
He was shorter than Chris, and he was wider than Chris.
Oh, okay.
So
He looks
I
taller
saw him.
here, but if you go
He
to
does
that,
look bigger than you, though.
yeah, he's a wide
Even
guy.
in the pictures I saw.
go flip a couple of pictures over, Miggy. Right there, you can see how his belly is much bigger than Chris's.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? And his arms are bigger too, so the dude looks just bigger than Chris. He just does.
Which I wasn't.
Chris carries more of it on his top part, where he's carrying everything in the middle, basically. Do you see what I'm saying? So mounting that guy would have been impossible. I don't think, like, I don't know, you got to be 6'5", 6'7" to even attempt to mount somebody like that. You know what I mean?
And like I said, he was so wide. I was trying to go for Kimuras or Americanas, but I'm not for him, because he was so wide. I wasn't long enough to keep the center. You know, like you want to keep the center on the chest, but also work the arm.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like one of those things where you're trying to keep yourself low enough, but it's causing you to try and basically reach, and further where your elbows get, less strength you have, all that stuff. So
plus, look at his biceps, bro. How you gonna do a Kimura on a bicep like that? Like your arms really need to get in there for you to do it. Like you really need to tie your arms in there, and it's gonna be difficult for Americanas, Kimuras, any of them.
yeah, and then like I said, I wasn't trying to go in mount, so arm triangles were out the window. Like, so it was more like make him move into bad positions to set me up for good positions, and that's what we're working. Like, so he started covering his face a lot, so I started ripping body shots.
And it was just like body. He would go defend the body.
You can't elbow and you can't knee to the head.
you need to the body though.
I didn't want a chance to get DQ'd. It wasn't. How do I say this? He fights for that like his gym is that promotion. So I didn't want to give like I'm not saying that they would do that or anything, but I was coming in.
On the side
You're
of
in someone
cautious.
else. It's kind of like you're in someone else's house.
Yeah, I'm in someone else's territory, and I'm not gonna put myself in a way where it can be.
You can have any excuse.
Yeah, to lose. So I didn't throw any knee shots. Most of them were just hammer fists, sneaking.
You honestly didn't need to throw any knee shots, really. To be honest, there was no need for knee shots because you're controlling the game enough. Why switch?
Yeah.
If it works, why reinvent the bicycle, right? Like it was working well. You would go body, face, body, face, and you just kept the control for the 9 minutes on the ground, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of like how far you can swing that arm, and just mechanical, just keep going.
Did you guys watch this weekend's UFC?
I watched the prelims.
Cameraman won the
in the weigh-ins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Somebody-
it's great. She's the champ now. We get to see more of that. I'm happy. I was so happy when I was like, yes, and we don't got to see the. Well, the other girl's like the complete opposite.
I have the
Fucking-
question though. How did Mackenzie know which way this girl is looking?
I don't know. I don't think anyone knows which way she's looking, but hey, that's okay.
The
She
girl
can
was
fight.
looking at her, at the judges, at the coaches, all at the same
I
time.
thought it was so interesting. Did you watch that fight?
No, I was already warming up for my fights.
Yeah,
Right,
we didn't
'cause it
watch
was
any of
during-
those fights. Yeah.
So it was interesting because Virna would take her down almost at will. Right. It was really just she would shoot and Mackenzie was going on her ass. That big one. And the thing was funny though is Mackenzie would be on her back and she'd have her in a close guard, and she would be the one 12 to 6 elbows, hammer fists from the bottom.
From the bottom. And a lot of people don't do that.
Virna had, in comparison to the ground and pound, she had none, right? And it was crazy. And Mackenzie got her down like twice, right? And then put real effective ground and pound during that time. But it was insane. Like, and they didn't even count any of that towards the significant strikes. So it's not significant because you're on your back. But I mean, a 12 to 6
It was a
elbow.
decision, right?
Yeah, she won the decision, but by a landslide. Unanimous decision. One of them scored it 49-46. But I thought Virna won 2 rounds, but it was crazy to see. Like, it was weird to see because you don't see that in the women's fights. And I don't mean that anything towards against them, but you usually don't see that.
That many takedowns, you
That
mean?
that level of
Violence.
ravageness.
Yeah.
It's not even violence at that point. It's like, I want to fucking kill you. Like, that's how it looked. Like, she was on her back, bro, and she was boom, boom, boom. Like, a lot of fucking
think
striking from the
Mackenzie-
bottom. And it fucked her face up.
Well, I think Mackenzie had some letdowns lately, right? So I think that was just her thing of
Well, she won, I think, her last 2 fights.
she did, but then the fights before,
Yeah.
they were
She was
not that
smart
great,
in picking
right?
her fights too, though. Like I watched an interview with her, and she said, "If I fought her two fights ago, I wouldn't have won." Because she's like, I
Yes,
needed those
maybe, yes.
other 2 fights in order to figure out what I needed to do to beat her, and it worked out for her. There's a select few women in the UFC that are just there to, they're just there to hurt you.
You good, Miggy? You having fun over there? What are you doing, dog?
Miggy being Miggy.
Okay.
I feel like
It's like
We're
Yeah, I
running
was
a
about to say,
professional
right now,
podcast here,
it's
Miggy.
like-
What are you doing?
It's like you gave a fucking 5-year-old the computer access to a computer for the first time.
to the Paint app. To the
Yeah.
Paint app.
Jesus Christ.
I feel attacked. Who sent you my nudes?
But what did you think about the Gagne and Aspinall?
Gone and Aspinall, yeah. That was bullshit. I mean, it was really annoying making people sit through such a shitty card just to have that. Like, and I don't mean shitty card in the sense of the fights weren't good, but like they just didn't really have a lot of big names.
Yeah.
At the end of the day on the card, fights were great. The quality of fights were great, but I'm sure like they probably really didn't get that many casuals to buy this pay per view. Like, yeah, Aspinall's on it, but in reality, like to the casual, Aspinall's big, but he's still kind of newer.
Yep.
In the sense, right?
And that goes to the thing where like you don't know what he can do because he's been in the cage such
So
minimal
little.
time.
And not only like UFC time, like of us seeing him on the big stage, but actual time cage. He's got an average fight time of like 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
He finishes them all up.
He's only had 1 fight in the UFC. So this is now his 2nd loss, I think, in the UFC when he had that weird knee thing with Curtis Blades, and then this fight, right?
But neither one of them were him actually losing.
No injury.
you know what I'm
injury
saying?
with
Like,
Curtis,
we
but that
don't-
was so this wasn't a loss, right? This was a no
contest,
contest.
yeah.
But the fight against Curtis Blades where his knee blew out, that was a loss because that wasn't no foul that caused that. He threw a leg kick and his knee blew. And
Yeah.
it was that simple. And so
What-
they
what
counted
I'm
that
saying
as a
is
TKO.
it's usually like we haven't seen him really fight all the way through at least a full round.
Only once.
2-3 rounds.
Marcin Tybura put him through 3 rounds, but he dominated. But that's the only fight. That's what I was trying to say. That's the only fight in the UFC that he's won that went to decision. Every other one, I think.
It's a submission or a knockout.
Actually, I don't even know if that fight went to decision. I think it might have just went to the 2nd round.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's ever like, and he's fairly young, right?
Yeah, go to
Like,
his ESPN page or whatever. You scroll down, you might see it.
How old is he?
Yeah, right there. It'll give us a full breakdown of all his previous fights. So, that lost to Curtis Blades. If you just see at the top, round 1-1-1. So yeah, I was right. So it wasn't actually Marcin. It was Andrei Arlovsky. He took Andre to the second round, but then still submitted him.
No, Arlovsky, but Arlovsky was old, man. Arlovsky's like 45. Arlovsky wasn't in his prime.
It's a funny clip actually because he rear naked chokes Arlovsky against the cage while Arlovsky's kind of like on his knees and he's just kind of crouched over. And the moment he taps and he gets up, he shakes Arlovsky's hand and then walks away and starts celebrating.
An unpopular belief, I think since he fought Cyril Gane for like even that little amount of time, he now knows how Cyril Gane moves.
Oh,
so
100%.
I think when they fight again, a lot of people are counting Aspinall out now because he was bloody during this one, at least from the highlights I've seen.
Yeah.
I think now he knows how Cyril Gane moves in the cage, so now he can start getting training partners to move like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't think it's going to be as close as people think it was going to be this fight.
You know, I agree with what you're saying after that information provided, how after you put it that way, especially because Cyril was mostly on offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the
Aggressor?
he was the engager, right? Yep. The aggressor, right? He was the one starting every interaction that they were having, right? And that's the way I saw it. It wasn't mostly Tom. Maybe threw a couple 1-2s where he started the engagement, but mostly it was Cyril. And so, being the actionary versus reactionary, you learn less, right? You don't see their actionary as much. You don't get to see when they're the one pushing as much. And I don't know if that was because of Cyril's great striking or maybe Tom, for whatever reason it was. I agree with what you're saying. And I think maybe Tom might have learned more in that fight than Cyril did.
His interview was good. He's like, I don't understand why the fuck you're booing, guys.
He still can't see, apparently.
Yeah, they're
so
saying it's like 50% in his eye.
So one eye is completely gray, and then the other eye is only 50% vision. That they did like the eye test, and he can only make it past like the second or third row. Anything under that, he couldn't read.
What are they saying?
They're saying that they're testing for like, his dad basically said something about the eye shifting when injuries like that happen and it healing that way and then being permanent damage, and that they had suspicions that it could be that, but then with the test they ran, it wasn't that. I don't know, something about like basically he's gonna be okay, but I mean 2-3 days later and you still have no vision in one eye. That's pretty fucking scary.
Can you imagine being able to sleep like that? Because that shit hurts, man. Well, see, the thing with an eye is one of those organs that doesn't have a very, like, it has an efficient way of bringing nutrients in, but your eye is basically a liquid. It doesn't have like former cells in it which they go in and start repairing, right? Like eye is the only organ. Can you put this in a ChatGPT? What's the best way to describe it? I don't know what's the best way to describe this, but your eye doesn't have the formal way of like
regenerating as the other parts does.
Yeah, so even actually it's not like your regular cells that they would change nutrition, right? Like it's very easy for a cell to switch up nutrition. Well, your eye is not like that. Your eye is built completely different.
But why do eyes heal differently than the rest of the organs?
Speak to it.
I got you.
Remember, we got new technology now.
Yeah, with new tech.
Why do eyes heal differently than different organs?
Tell me like I am a 2-year-old.
Why does my father not love me?
Why are there two people talking to me?
Tell me like it's gonna talk like weird now. I feel like. Oh, it's because of the imperfections of healing.
Yeah, so.
I think they were more worried about his retina being detached because those retinas being detached and like those surgeries aren't guaranteed. I mean, no surgery's guaranteed, but I think they have like a lower
success rate.
Because like if you poke your eye, there's no stopping it. Like it doesn't coagulate. Like it will literally leak out completely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's that, and then there's like the way nutrition goes in and out of your eye is completely different because like the blood vessels are around your eye, they never go inside your eye, so you don't really get like it's osmosis of nutrients that go in and out by like osmosis, right? Which is basically like if you take something that's very salty and put it in water goes inside that thing, or something that's very dry, water will go in that thing and pull the nutrients out into the clean water, right? Like that's the type of a situation that happens. It's not that like the blood cells will drive the white blood cells in to heal it. It doesn't work like your rest of your body would, right? So
Newton used to stab his eye and record his findings. He would like sit in a dark room and he would like stab his eye, and he would write down what he's feeling and what he's seeing.
yeah, there's
He was stabbing his eye.
Crazy
It's insane,
motherfuckers.
bro.
Yeah,
Like-
I've heard that before in insane asylums.
yeah.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every-
so
It was weird though, because the eye poke was worse on the one that he can see better on, right? Like the whole, like half of his fucking
Yeah,
finger.
it went to the knuckle.
Yeah, like
I-
half of his
was
finger
it the
was
full
in
hold up there? Or I
No,
thought
no,
it was
to his
up
knuckle. This
Bro,
knuckle here.
Yeah, it was fucking penetration, like, bro.
Yeah.
No
And-
Vaseline.
No, none.
Yeah,
Just
usually you have to
blood.
pay. You have to pay good money for that stuff, but
And then that's the weird part is that's the eye that has less damage, right? The one that kind of just grazed over the eye.
And that might be in it, where he scratched the retina and stuff like that. you
so
know?
like I said, I didn't watch the fight, but I heard Cyril Gahn got warned 2 times about his fingers being extended.
Yes.
I also watched the Mighty Mouse interview where I do agree with Mighty Mouse because when you're striking, you're here and you're trying to keep the gauge. Sometimes when they push in, your hands do go like this. Like I said, I didn't watch the fight, so I don't know if Aspinall was coming in when he did this because then he was probably trying to post out to land a shot.
Actually, Aspinall was actually giving a bit of a lean back when that happened.
Okay.
But it looked like Cyril was actually closing distance with his hands like this versus backing up and trying to keep him away. He was actually, doing the distance check. He was closing distance and kind of keeping this here to set up the right hand, it looked like. And I think he might have actually just finished throwing that left hand, missed, and then kind of put it out while Aspinall was leading
Trying to
back.
circle out.
Yeah.
But it looks like Aspinall's engaging there. So
And it
Aspinall
looks
might
like
have
he might be going for.
he
a
might have
kick
been
the
coming
way
in. So
Yeah. I
like-
do know when the eye poke happened, like when you see in the clip, Aspinall's head is going backwards a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, he might have been the one starting the engagement there, and maybe it might be Cyril trying to back up, but Aspinall's just leaning back during the strike.
Yeah, trying not to get his chin touched because
Yeah,
I know in striking when you're trying to gauge that distance, your hands are like this, and then when they really come in, like usually like this, but like when they come in, you post out like this, and then automatically goes out. So it might not have been intentional because you're going here, and you're trying to circle out, or you're trying to come over here to guide them into that right hand.
Well, what's the guy's name? He's like the oldest fighter, active fighter
Jim
right
Miller.
now. Jim Miller. I think he did an interview.
He's not the oldest active fighter, but he's the one that is like one of the older guys.
And he's
that has
fighting
been
still.
Fighting. He has the most UFC fights
Yeah.
in
And
history.
he
have,
was
like,
talking
50 or
about it.
something?
40, mid-40s.
No, his fights. Doesn't he have like 50 fights
yeah,
or something?
Yeah, he has like 30. He's like 30-something and 20-something.
Yeah, he commented on it and he said, "Hey guys, look at my gloves. I'm gonna show you how to close your fist." And he just kind of like made a thing about it, where he's like, "Look, it's not the gloves' fault. You can just go like this and close your arm."
He's
you
been
know?
talking about this since the last. I don't remember what fight it was, but there was a fight this year that had some really bad fouls in it, and it was part of the eye poking and nut shots and stuff like that. And he made a video about how all of that should be instantly 1 point deducted, and a lot of people believe that instantly, like groin shot, 1 point deduction. No,
Even by accident.
Yes, because how are you gonna say accident or not on accident? Like for example, I heard this is another bit of a subject with the intentional or not
Curtis,
intentional.
right? The Curtis fight, last Curtis fight, he got hit in the nuts a couple of times, 2 times.
I don't remember that.
Curtis goes
Curtis
going
Blades.
against the
Yeah, I remember
white
when
guy.
he fought him. Oh, different. Okay, wasn't fighting Tom. I don't know which one you're talking about then. But in other sports, there's no such thing as a fucking intentional or non-intentional foul.
Didn't Kevin
It's a
Holland
foul.
get hit like 3 times?
Oh no,
in
never
the
mind, not
nuts?
Curtis. Holland.
Yeah.
Kevin
Oh,
Holland.
yeah.
Holland got hit like
Yeah,
the
but
last
those
fight we
those
watched.
shots were intentional. Like there's no. He's like, I was going for an inside leg kick, bro. You're coming down the middle. When you're throwing leg kicks, it's coming down here for the inside, coming in. Where this fucking guy was going like straight up the middle, almost like
Yeah.
a teep kick.
Yeah, he was.
Going up
It
the
looked like
middle.
he was actually trying to teep, but the leg wasn't lifting enough. Almost.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I was doing inside leg kicks." I was like, "You don't go straight down the middle with a fucking inside leg kick."
I mean, you kind of if your front leg is the one doing it, you kind of have a little bit of a snap that it curves right in
Yeah,
there.
it goes down.
Right, and misjudge of height is very easy when you're moving that fast. So I can see how it could happen. I mean, when I trained MMA as a kid, I got hit in the nuts plenty of times when people were attempting inside leg kicks, and I don't believe it was intentional. You know.
Yeah, but these guys are pros
Right.
compared to.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, I get it. But
Like-
what I was gonna say is the intentional foul thing, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess like
See,
I don't want to
right there.
see, you know, getting rid of the intentional and non-intentional foul thing could also lead to a lot of people getting belts off of bullshit, right? Which I could understand that, like the whole thing with Aljamain and stuff, which was clearly intentional, right?
That one was intentional. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one was.
well, because he was told ground the opponent, you know, which he barely understands English, but that's on him, you know, like that's on him to figure that out.
And he kind of disappeared, right? Like we haven't seen him in a while.
Was that Peter Yan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter Yan just fought.
He did?
Yeah, he just fought recently.
Mhm.
He did. I don't remember that.
He's had a couple fights, a few fights since then, even after Aljamain. Yeah, this fight was a total fucking shit show, man. When he got hit in the nuts, bad, man, bad. Twice it was.
Twice.
Twice he got hit in the
One
nuts.
time was a knee. One time was a straight kick.
I think the first one was a kick. The second one was the knee. Yeah, this fight was bad. It was annoying.
But the
to
kid
watch.
was doing good for what he was. He was doing good. If he
Yeah,
continued,
Mike Maylot is a great fighter.
Mhm.
I mean, it would have been a great fight if.
Is that the
not for
young Russian kid?
No, he's Canadian. He's Canadian.
because it wasn't a Canadian.
Who's that
one.
young Russian kid that like kind of has hair like Sean O'Malley?
The blind one? The
No,
one that's
not
blind?
that
Shara
guy.
Bullet?
Yeah. There's
Oh,
another
Roman
one.
Kopylov?
I think
Kopylov.
that's the
He
one.
fought what's his name?
Paulo.
Paulo Costa last fight.
yes, yeah.
Very unpredictable striker. Did you see that? Did you see that Contender Series fight? Those lightweight dudes, 125 pounds. They both got the $50,000 bonus, and they both got signed to UFC. There was a Russian kid fighting another guy, bro, but it was a massacre. They were like beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, Dana said that was one of the best fights he's ever watched.
Mm.
He's like, let alone at the Contender Series.
Yeah, Paulo Costa did show a very he showed up for this fight for sure.
He was very technical in that fight. Like it wasn't because Paul sometimes he'll like throw loosely. This one, everything was like pinpoint. Like I'm landing this for this.
Yeah, because Kopylov is a very difficult fighter to predict what he's gonna do. Even his punches and kicks are coming in very, very odd from different angles. You know, which I was kind of worried about, like how is Paulo gonna perform, but he did really well. Paid off, you know, the camp training, it all paid off. But
And he's a really nice guy, Paul.
super nice guy.
Yeah, super cool guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as many times as I've had any kind of interaction with him, is always
Super respectful, super
yeah.
cool guy.
What do you
And
guys-
his English is a lot better than I thought. That's just me, probably. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a dick,
Yeah.
but like just being like a
He actually says, "Let's go to a restaurant instead of restaurante."
like his English is actually relatively really good.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Islam and JDM? How do you think that's gonna play out with him moving up in weight class?
I don't know, man. I'm an Islam fan. Like I always go for the wrestler and all the fights, even if like my buddy Thomas Peterson just fought. When he fought that guy, he went out on the shield, got knocked out. But whenever, even if it's just any wrestler, I feel like wrestling is such a high base, and like just grappling alone is like a game changer for most fights, because you can determine whether you want it standing or you want it on the ground. Or if like a striker, they can move X amount of time, but eventually you're gonna get, like, if you get a high level wrestler, it's like, all right, I'm cutting off the distance, going here, here, here. Yeah, you're landing a couple, but now you're back against the cage. Now we're where I want you to be. Or even when like Khabib, like he wasn't the best striker. Like he went out there like against guys that are like top notch strikers, but just that angle cutting, like that pressure, it makes strikers like, oh shit, like he's coming. I'm gonna throw this like desperate jab out, and then you see Khabib, he'll swim the jab, and then that's when he's shooting in for his doubles. And they climb the rope so well on the body. Like if you look, he's not even really shooting for the double, he's shooting up for the body lock, and then that's when he starts to work. So I think anything with I think grappling, like whether it's jiu-jitsu, even judo, or like jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling, like if that's like your foundation, and then you fucking get your striking as good as your grappling.
Well,
Yeah.
Karo Parisian was unstoppable. He was the very first judo guy that won MMA, and he was basically, not a lot of people could go against him, because he was, since 16 he was already like doing the. the garage fights. You know what I mean? And like tossing people.
Grappling also makes kicking, like kickboxers, a little lives a little tougher because kicks become very difficult. You know, you're giving them effectively what they want, which is your leg.
Right now, we're still seeing like things like, oh, there's a grappler that's coming in. Oh, there's a kickboxer that's coming in into the arena. But I think that's changing. I think the newer generation that's just growing right now, they're doing strictly MMA. Mm-hmm. They're not like, even at our gyms, like you don't see the kids just doing jiu-jitsu. They're doing jiu-jitsu and striking. So these kids that are like 9, 8, 10, they're starting coming up with both, right? Yep. So they're not gonna be like an expert in this or expert in that, but they're gonna have it all rounded, which is fits better for this specific sport, right? So I think we're gonna see still some dominance of grapplers maybe, but I think like more and more you're seeing people that are striking just as well as they're grappling.
Yep.
Now that they're starting to poke their heads out, and I think that the more time goes, the more of that is going to start happening, and then that's going to completely phase out only strikers and only grapplers. You know, you're going to have to be very well.
Who would you say is our most well-rounded champion right now for the UFC?
Well, I think, I mean, I'm not a John Jones bandwagoner by any means. Like his outside of the cage stuff really put a dim on his career in the cage, but he's a high-level wrestler. But he's like one of the best strikers. So if like you look when he did it against Cyril Gahn is a striker. He's like, well, I'm a striker too, but I'm also a wrestler, so I'm gonna take you down. Submitted him. Mm-hmm. Like just the way he comes at the sport. I think like Jay was saying, all those kids that are like the well-roundedness, they're gonna start being more like. Granted, it's John Jones is like a one-generational fighter. But there's going to be a lot more guys emulating that type of style where, like, I can take you down, but if you want to stand, we can throw too.
You know who's, I think, very good? The guy that just fought Marab.
Sandhagen?
Sandhagen. Yeah. He's very, very well-rounded, I think, because even Marab was having a hard time with him.
For me, I'd say Volkanovski, probably.
Volkanovski, if you're going to take it that route, I say Topuria. He has dispatched more champions than anyone else.
But he hasn't, and I'm not saying he doesn't have it, but he hasn't displayed the grappling yet at the highest level.
But he hasn't.
I'm not saying he doesn't have it.
What do you mean? He just
went against. Displayed it.
He just went against what's his name? The Brazilian guy.
Charles
Oliveira.
Display high level grappling there.
Yeah, I guess technically they didn't go down to the ground.
They did, but there wasn't like big exchanges really.
So he has really good grappling defense. We haven't seen him exchange in takedowns, but his grappling defense is on another level. One, I get it, Charles is a jiu-jitsu guy, but if you look, he's also fought like high level judo and wrestler guys too.
Yeah.
Where when they shoot in, but a lot of people don't realize he was a high-level wrestler growing up. He just fell in love with boxing more than wrestling. Because I don't know if he was on... Yeah, I don't know. He was...
16, I think.
He's in Spain?
Spain. He's Spain. He's Georgian, but living
in
Spain.
Yeah, but I think he was either on like the Spain's wrestling team for Greco or something. If I'm not mistaken, I was listening to DC and Chael Sonnen talk about it. But he has high-level wrestling. He just doesn't need it,
right?
Because his striking's enough, but I think it's there.
Yeah. So, did you see Topuria? He broke up with his wife, and he got a new wife now.
Dude, she cheated on him.
She cheated on him, but I thought they said that he was cheating.
Well, that might be true too, but I think she cheated on him as well.
Oh, I don't know that. Yeah.
And then so he went in. Now he's just fucking on a warpath, dude.
Did you see when he? I mean, there's a clip that went viral, and it's going viral again because of him breaking up with his wife. But it's Kyle from the Nelk Boys. You guys know the Nelk Boys. Mm-hmm. They were hanging out with Topuria, and when they asked him like where did he meet his wife, Kyle responded like in a matter of almost, I don't know exact words, so I'll just kind of give you the gist of like basically like, oh wow, you found your wife in Miami? That's
no,
crazy
I think I think what he said is like, you're gonna let your wife go to Miami on her own.
No, it was that he met his wife in Miami, and Topuria, you can tell, got like a little bit of offended and was like, "What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Just because you go to these places and those are all the girls you see in Miami doesn't mean you can't find a good girl in Miami," and like got defensive about it. And so that clip is going viral again.
Well, it'd be interesting to see his younger brother, because a lot of people are saying that he's not younger. Well, his brother is much better than him. A lot of people are saying that he
Did you
is
see
better.
his compound he built for himself to train at?
Yeah,
in
his
Spain.
gym. Yeah.
No,
I didn't know he already came from money in Spain.
he did. Yeah, it comes from
and
money.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, he does.
I think he comes from money. Like I
comes from
think,
money.
Bro,
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
I don't know, man. From maybe I'm wrong.
Some
but
people have talked shit talking about he doesn't, but he does.
yeah.
no, Leo Chapur does not come from money. I'm telling you.
Pretty sure he does. His parents might be refugees, but I think they had money, like before he got famous.
Yeah, I think that was the whole thing that he built there. But anyway, the point here is that Marab, the guy he fought last, I think that guy it's just Marab is intense, right? Like Marab has the intensity, but he doesn't have the finishers nor he has the strikes, right?
But he knows what his strength is. His strength is I'm gonna fucking make you want to quit, and that's what he does with that wrestling and that like cardio is out of this world, man.
Yeah, and he was having a hard time taking him down.
He still
Yeah, I don't know
landed
about-
20 takedowns though.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know about having a hard time taking him down. I think he just wasn't keeping him down as long as
He wasn't keeping him down. Correct.
Yes.
As long
So
as
he
we're
wasn't
used
keeping
to.
him down, but he took him down.
19 and 20 times.
Yeah, as many times as he wanted. Granted, he probably did maybe like I don't know 30 takedowns, so he maybe didn't get 10 of them, but that's tiring, man. Getting taken down, getting back up, getting taken down, getting back up. Even just taking somebody down and they're building back up, like it shows his mentality for grappling. Because when you take somebody down and they get back up, you're like, fuck, I got to put this guy back down. And then he gets up, and you take him back down, and he gets up again. You're like, dude, how many times is this dude gonna keep getting up? So like, a lot of people are like, yeah, he's taking him down and he's getting back up, but they don't realize the mindset of Marab to stay
it's
composed.
like a game. He made a game out of it.
Yeah,
it's
to
like
stay
collecting
composed
coins,
in that, yeah.
playing zombies in modern World War, the what do you call it, the Call of Duty. You take them down, they keep coming back, and you just continue to shoot.
You know, we talked about this the other day at work. Me and my coworker, because I have a coworker of mine that is big into UFC. He's been watching since he was a kid with his dad. His dad's been a fan since the old days, and we were talking about like, man, who's gonna be able to beat Marab right now in the top 15? And we couldn't really find a name that he hasn't already beaten or that we think can beat him.
There's no one there.
I mean, we have guys like Umar that we think stand a chance, but he already beat him. So what's the question there?
No, he mopped the floor with Umar.
I think that's now in back of Umar's head too now, because like Umar's like, oh, I'm gonna hit wrestling with wrestling, but Umar now sees the different level of wrestling. Granted, he's going with Khabib and stuff like that, but like it's hard to simulate that cardio. Like it's almost you're gonna need like 6 dudes.
But Umar is a striker. He's not really a wrestler. Umar, I think, came from kickboxing or something like that.
He is known for his kicks and striking. Yeah, for knocking dudes out with kicks and stuff. But I mean, he's still coming from that.
But he sets up his
He
sets up his striking and kicks with wrestling.
Yes, he does.
So he'll
because
shoot
he's been
in.
training with them
He doesn't
boys.
want to shoot in. He like shoots in to make you respect the shot, and then he'll start doing the fake shots, and then that's when he's landing those head kicks.
But what I'm saying is, Umar is really not a wrestler, right? Like, so Umar needs to. But it's very hard to say when Marab is at that fucking high energy. He's constantly like jumping around, and he's like, does this guy ever fucking get tired for me to start setting this up? But he doesn't. You know, that's the thing. He just has a gas tank for days, right? And I don't know, man. But we have a lot of the champions are like that in a lot of the weight categories. Like, look at Topuria. He's one of the guys that's like literally knocked out every single one out there. Who can go against him?
Well, now he's in a new weight class, so that question is definitely going to be raised. You know, yeah, he did clean out Charles, which is one of the, best guys in that division. But now he's got a
fight
new.
Gaethje.
Well, he's got a new roster.
He's
to
got
attend
Arman
to.
Sarukian, so the only person that I can see going against him and getting something is Arman Sarukian. There's no one else really.
I think any of the guys in the top 5 have a chance with
Topuria?
Yeah, because they're bigger, man. They're bigger.
I know, man, but the way he handled Max Holloway, and Max Holloway beat most of those guys, like.
Well, Max Holloway he's beat 2 of them, and one of them's retired now.
I don't know,
I don't
man.
know, but you got to think he beat Gaethje,
Oliveira,
and Gaethje
bro.
beat most
And
of
we,
those guys.
but also we gotta remember, guys, fight math never works.
Yeah.
He beat this guy, so he's gonna beat this guy. Never works. That's
No,
not,
I understand, but it's just I'm telling you, the only person I think that has
They
anything
fed
would be-
him. They fed Bryce Mitchell to Poirier off of that podcast that he did, the wild stuff he said. Did you?
But no,
guys-
that was he fought Sapuria way before that.
I think he fought him after the podcast, or they
No.
fed. Who they feed him? They fed him to like a monster.
Oh, Bryce, John Silva.
Yeah,
John
after the
Silva fucked him
podcast.
up. Yeah.
After the podcast, they're
Yeah.
like, "All right, dude, you said some wild shit. We can't kick you out of the UFC,
but we're gonna beat you out of it.
here's this dude."
Yeah, John Silva fucked him up.
Yeah,
He was slapping him and shit. It was bad. I think that was ended in a finish. This is that guy Ryan Hall.
Yeah, and he beat the
heel-
shit out of him.
He heel hooked BJ Penn. That's
Mhm.
where he got kind of his big name from. And then this happened to him.
Yeah.
And they thought Ryan Hall was gonna run through Tapuria.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I watched a video about this fight, and during the build up, they thought Ryan Hall was gonna win.
have you seen the new videos of BJ Penn and like all the wild shit?
Yeah,
he's been saying?
he's back.
He's
in
not
a,
right in the head.
Yeah, no, he's back
He's
in
not
a.
right in
He's
the
back in a prison now.
Oh, he's in jail now.
I think they arrested him.
He was saying some wild shit, man.
Yeah, Ryan Hall damn near died in that one.
Yeah, I think they arrested him because he went crazy talking about the people in his neighborhood were gonna shoot him or some shit. I think.
And he was saying like his mother's home got taken from him.
Yeah.
That the government's doing this to him.
Yeah.
And a bunch of crazy stuff, man. It's almost like I wonder if he has CTE, man.
That's what I was just thinking. Do you think that part of this is from so much head damage?
Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen, but you'll see in another 20 to 30 years, there's gonna be a lot of guys that are gonna come forward with fucking some legit brain fucking damage.
That's why I was talking to my girl and like a few other people. Like I love fighting. I don't want to go as long as possible, but I also don't want the sport to retire me. So I think I'll stop fighting at like 36 because I want to be able to run around with grandkids. I want to be able to run around with my kids and stuff like that. Like I'm just enjoying the journey. As far as fighting, like, you know, I know everybody's like, oh, I got to make the UFC. I'm not in that mindset type of thing. Like, I'm okay just going pro and like fighting. Maybe like if I make the UFC, that's cool too. But like one championship, any of those ones, I really don't. It's not like I want to fight, want to go pro, I want to do it, but like it's not end all be all. Like if I don't make it to the UFC, oh my gosh, I'm fucking devastated. I don't know if that comes from just already competing at a high level in other sports. Like I don't know if like I'm satisfied with stuff like that already. But like I talk to a lot of people that one don't fight yet, and two they're like, oh dude, if I don't make the UFC, it's almost like those guys that play football. It's either D1 or bust. And I feel like that's a mindset that hurts people a lot, where like they struggle, like, because fight game is gonna be ups and downs. There's no fucking one way trajectory. So like it's gonna be ups and downs. So like I feel like a lot of those like young fighters need to figure out their headspace before they jump into fighting, because it's not gonna be all like I said, it's not gonna be all sunshines and rainbows. So I was talking to I think I was talking to Nick. I was like, is the UFC like would be dope to be in? Absolutely. I mean, it's the fucking UFC, but it's not end all be all.
But see, that's the thing. Like, even if you do go to UFC, like, how much money are you gonna make of it? Is that even fucking worth it?
And that's the thing. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the sport.
Yeah. So then, is it even fucking?
Which
worth
most of these
it, right?
guys
Like,
are
putting
fighting. They want money. Where I'm like, listen, I already got a career. Like I work. Like there's always gonna be law enforcement. I already work in a career. I got insurance. My family's paid. My family has insurance. My son has insurance. Like I have everything I need. It's not a want. It's not a need. It's a want. So like, I feel like that helps me also with the fights, because I'm not like, dude, if I don't do good in this, like I'm fucked. I got something to fall back on, which almost gives me like more
excuse not to even worry about it.
Yeah, more of a relief and more calm in the cage. Because if I get hurt in the cage, I got insurance. Where if I don't,
Your insurance will cover that?
yeah, I got pretty good
I
insurance.
was actually gonna answer that, but I was like, maybe it's too much of a question.
No, I got good insurance, bro. I work for
I
this.
just was surprised. Like, I just think about it like, for example, we all got cars.
Yeah.
But you can't go to Sunshine Raceway and crash and expect your insurance to pay for it, right? Like, they will not. They'll you go fuck yourself. So I just thought about it like it would kind of be the same thing, right? Like, your insurance will cover you on a daily
It's like
basis.
when you have life insurance and you jump out of the plane and then you
Yeah, I mean, there's caveats, but like
pull the plug on you, right? Like life insurance ain't paying you. You know
Oh,
what
they
I mean?
won't? If you die from like a
no, it's literally in their clause. If you, I don't want you guys to get canceled. So if you, and how do you say this without you guys getting canceled?
Self delete.
Yeah, if you self delete yourself,
That doesn't pay.
In no process.
There's
it
nothing.
voids your contract with them.
Yeah, self deletion.
That's what happened with Aaron Hernandez, because he deleted himself. That money that was supposed to go for his life insurance to his kids, they never got, because he did that to himself. That's the fine.
Well, I figured
I don't think it really. I mean, sure, it's a fine print for consumers, but I did insurance for like 2 weeks, and I did the whole entire course in like 2 days. But that's pretty bolded for the people at least selling it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, if you off yourself, like, you're not getting the money.
Yeah. Because
That
people,
means
knowing that
that'd
they're
be
gonna
too
off
easy.
themselves because of money issues, they'll just get the life insurance off themselves. The family receives the money. Insurance is they're no chump, right? Like, they're trying to make money.
My question is like, I don't know. Like, you say if you jump out of a plane because you wanted to go skydiving.
Yeah,
and
because it's a
something happens.
risky. Because they ask you.
But what is the?
Because they
but what
ask
is
you the things like that. Do you do any risky things? Like, do you do this? Do you do that? Like, if you answer no to all those things, and then you go out there and do it, and somehow that ends up being your end, they're gonna be like, well, you did this. Now your family has to battle the insurance.
My
and sue them
question
and
is
tell them
like,
to pay, right?
I'm looking at it as like, okay, they're basing it on a certain level of risk evaluation, right? Like, you're taking too much risk. So at what level would that like start to become maybe like some sort of gray area? Like, maybe let's say you went out and bought a fucking 911 turbo and took that bitch 200 miles across Howard Franklin, and boom.
Well, they ask
something
you about all
happens.
those things.
Well, I mean, what if you got life insurance after? What if you got the 911 after you got life insurance?
They technically can get like.
Right?
Here's the thing with insurance.
Let me finish the question. Would an insurance company be able to go, no, we're not accepting your claim because your husband or whatever
So this is what would
passed
happen.
due to being stupid.
So this is what would
dying
happen.
in a car crash.
This
being
has
dumb.
actually happened to a friend, right? Mom had cancer. She was dying. Insurance pretty much came back and said, we're not paying you anymore. We're canceling the insurance and we're dropping you. Even though that included the cancer treatment. So they dropped her. They ended up suing it. And they got, I think, X amount of money from it. So insurance sat down, risk department sat down and said, listen, we can continue paying this and this is what it's going to cost. Or they're going to end up suing us and this is going to cost this. So they took whatever is going to cost them less. Do you see what I mean? So the insurance can pull the plug on you at any time if they think that it's going to cost them less, right? And they got the money to get the best lawyers and they try to figure out what's the best thing, right? Most of this stuff goes to mediation anyway. It doesn't get in front of a judge, and during the mediation, they resolve the problems. This is your payout. Done. See what I mean? So there's a risk department. Every big firm out there has a risk department, and they go through the risk and say, okay, if we do this, this is how much it's going to cost us. Through lawsuits and through everything, we'll lose this much, but we'll make this much. So that's the bottom line, right? Like, can insurance cancel you because you jumped out of the plane and blah, blah, blah? It's not about that you jumped out of the plane or it's a risk. It's about how much money they can save, right? Like, this is how much it's going to cost us in legal bills. Is it going to be more than what we're going to pay out or less, right? So, and then there's like a threshold and they go with that.
I think that also has to do with like the insurance and their accident claim. So like that's also in there. Like if you read the fine print, it's like also like you can't do anything to harm yourself, but they also can't cuff you to not enjoy life. So like jumping out of a plane, your shoe not opening, that's an accident. You driving a car, hitting something while you're driving, that's an accident. Now if you get a certain type of weapon and physically harm yourself, now that's not an accident. That is malice towards yourself.
Yeah, and then if you
And
jumping out of
that's
the
where the
plane every
fine print
week,
is.
but it doesn't say on your insurance profile, that's another whole can of worms, right?
What do you,
but the
Miggy, you
clause
said
are
you did the
Yeah, I did it for 2 weeks. I did the training. I took the test. I went on my first appointment. I pulled up. The lady started screaming at me as soon as I stepped on her lawn, and I was like, "Yeah, this job's not for me. I'm done."
Are the things we're saying though, is that accurate though? Like if it's an accident, it's different than.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they will ask you if you do dangerous jobs. Like they'll cover you for that stuff. It just costs more money.
Yeah.
Do you think you get to pay more of a monthly payment? Like with my job, because it's
smoking.
Like,
Well, your job in health insurance is the smoking. If you say you smoke, you're gonna pay more of a
Yeah,
premium.
that too.
Yeah, because like my insurance, because I have a high risk job.
Yeah.
It's a
Hazard.
hazard insurance, so it covers anything that happens to me in the line of duty. So do I pay a little bit more out of pocket? But yeah, but that also covers if anything happens to me, my family gets like a significant amount of money, and it covers. I think it covers my funeral expenses, which it's not gonna be much because I don't fit in a damn casket, so I'm gonna get cremated. So you can just put me in a vase and some duct tape, and then it covers I think 3 or 2 years of my salary, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you can build that motherfucker out however you want to.
Yeah, you can get more. Yeah, because mine
lump sum
gives you like
can
the opportunity to buy more and whatever they give you the
There's
basic.
all sorts of different insurance, bro. You can get insurance for damn near anything.
Yeah, you can get insurance for
You
your
can get
damn
insurance
your
for-
dog.
You can get insurance for if you get sick.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I heard someone tell me they pay insurance for their dog. So that's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Well, that's
No,
the dumbest
no.
shit unless you have
They
a.
told me how much they were paying a month, and I was like, I don't pay
Dude,
that
yeah, but
much
it's
anymore.
crazy because some of these people have life insurances on their dogs. And yeah, I was
How'd
like,
that work?
I don't know.
Well, he make money. How he make money?
So if
Or
like
she?
if your dog dies, you have enough money to buy another dog. Like it's a trip. Now, granted, you're probably paying like $200 a month, but you get like fucking $10K
Look,
for your
think
dog
about
to
it.
die.
Think about it. You just paid $30,000 or $50,000 for one of them
That's where you make your
bulldogs, right? Well, that's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
I
'cause-
paid $5K for my English bulldog, but
Wait,
I'm just
wait,
gonna leave
okay.
that out.
That's a whole different number than 20 to 30.
You know what I'm talking about, like the Frenchies.
Yeah,
You
the
pay
fluffy
30
ones?
Yeah, the fluffy Frenchies, $30,000.
I have my best friend. He works at like one of the highest priced dog shops in the area. I know how it goes. That shit
Is that the
crazy.
Sunshine dog?
No, it's his pet.
It's right off of
Petland.
Oh, dude, I went in there and they're like, "Yeah, come check out the dogs." They don't even tell you the price.
No, hell
So
no.
I'm playing with this English bulldog, and they're like, so,
I'll bring you up.
was
Can we-
probably him.
I'm gonna bring you up a picture of my.
and they're like,
friend.
can we run your credit score? I was like, credit score for what? They're like, for the dog. I was like, how much is this damn dog? They're like, oh, we'll talk more about it, but can we run it? I was like, no, you can't run it. I was like, what? Well, how much is this dog? And they're like, oh, it's 15,000. I was like, take your dog. I was like, thank you for letting me play with it. I was like, but I am not paying 15,000 for a fucking dog.
Yeah, but then you get a dog like that and he has health issues because they bottleneck him. You know what I mean? As far as like genetic material goes, there's inbreeding and stuff like that. They bottleneck.
Yeah,
them.
that's why I got mine from a reputable dog breeder in Florida. And I was like, listen, I need the AKC
AKC. Yep.
AKC documentation.
Certified, yeah.
I need to know what the parents' AKC certification is. I don't even give a fuck if it's a bloodline championship. I just need to know that those motherfuckers are healthy.
Well, the genetic panel too. The
Hey, you didn't have brother and
disposition.
sister make this guy.
yeah. Like I don't need a dad with the daughter and fucking all of a sudden he has 4 eyes.
Yeah, because most of those issues arise because of the inbreeding, right?
Yep.
Because if you look at it, I mean, yeah, you usually, if it's inbreeding, that's what you're gonna get. You know.
That's how they do. I was reading something. That's how they got those.
That's my buddy Rodolfo. He works there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's how I got. They got those bully breeds. They accidentally bred a father with a daughter that made it compact and ugly looking. So they're like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." And then they started inbreeding them more. They're like, "Well, the brother has the body, but this one has the head.
And this
Let's
one's got the
breed
neck.
these ones."
Yeah.
And now they have fucking arms like this. They look. I don't want to say the M word for little people. So they look like little people with those arms and legs.
Yeah. You know what's funny? That exact friend of mine, he has a half pit, half dash hound wiener dog.
So it just drags.
Brother, he is the funniest fucking dog you'll ever see. He is built like a tank and dropped to the floor like a lowrider. His paws are probably the same length as his legs. Right? It is fucking hilarious. You cannot tip him. His center of gravity is fucking strong. Like I don't care.
No,
You
his,
can-
his entire body is a pit, like a legit
Yeah.
full size pit.
Nah, I wouldn't say full size pit. His body's not full size pit, but it's built like a pit. Like Man, I'll find you a picture of
That's
Simba.
like those
Dude,
those
he's
little
gonna pull
wiener
it up
dog.
right now.
You ever
Right
seen
there,
those
that
wi-
third picture.
That third picture, that kind of looks like the fourth one now. That picture, that kind of looks like Simba, but Simba's a little cuter than that.
Have you seen the ones where the German shepherds breed with the wiener dogs?
Pull it
my
up.
God.
It's like fucking. They're just weird looking.
You know what's funny, man? Is I've had this conversation before, and first time I heard the show was on Joe Rogan too. It's how the fuck did we go from wolves to this?
Shit, my bulldog used to be a bait dog for bullfighting, and now he's just a fucking couch potato.
So there was a Russian scientist, right? I looked into this because fox are basically from a dog. They're not.
Yeah, they're also from foxes. Yeah,
Foxes are dogs. So this guy, this Russian dude, when he started breeding the fox, he caught wild fox, and the ones that were less afraid of him, he bred those. And then the more he continued, right? Because the reason they used fox because he was able to. Does a third
Joe
nipple
said he's
come?
inbred?
No, Joe, the third nipple doesn't cover it.
I hope it doesn't, because if not, I'll be on the same boat as you, brother.
So the fox, you can have a litter every 6 months, right? So he was able to quickly clone him, and he got to the point where he got the ones that would actually eat from his hand. Those are the ones he would breed for, right? Because it's the natural.
I understand how
But
how
the
you
point
domesticate
is,
an animal, right?
well, let me get to it. But after he started breeding them throughout, as the mellower the fox became, it started changing its shape and looking more like a dog than a fox.
Those
Snout
dogs
got
are
smaller,
assholes.
ears started going down.
Yeah, Shiba Inus.
Those dogs are assholes. Those little Dogecoin dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, they are assholes.
I've almost only ever got bit by chow chows and these little motherfuckers here.
Yeah, chow chows are very aggressive. A lot
Yeah,
of people
dude.
don't realize that chow chows are super
This
aggressive.
dog came. Luckily, I had steel toe boots on and came and tried to take my toe off.
Damn.
I was like, "You little motherfucker."
I've never had a dog. I can't remember.
Can you pull
try and actually bite me?
Go to ChatGPT.
Or
I'll tell
maybe
you.
I have when I was a little kid being stupid, but I've never been bit by a dog, like drawn blood or anything like that.
I have
can
by.
remember.
That's why I don't like Rottweilers. I was like 10 years old and I had to dispatch a Rottweiler from biting my arm.
10?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go?
Dog ended up passing away.
Oh, I understood that part from the dispatch. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
10 years old. It's funny. I like Rottweilers. The only reason I would never own one is all that fucking slobber, man. I can't do that. I can't do slobbery
I
dogs
can't
like
stand
boxers.
Rottweilers.
We used to have a German Shepherd and a Rottweiler in Cuba. The Rottweiler was mean as a motherfucker.
Yeah. dude.
Yeah.
It broke the chain and came and attacked me.
My stepdad
Broke
was
the
the only
chain.
one that was allowed to handle him. Like, he wouldn't let anybody else feed him or nothing. Like, you could not be around in the yard when he was out.
And it's funny because, a lot of times, and I'm not saying small dogs aren't smart, but a lot of the smarter, real, like, fucking, they got something up there, like, it's kind of weird to see sometimes, are usually, like, the bigger dogs, right? And a lot of the working dogs, working bigger dogs. And
Actually,
Rottweilers at one point in time weren't just used for fighting, they were working dogs. But damn, those motherfuckers are dumb compared to some of the other big dogs.
I just realized.
Like they're one of the hardest dogs to train. Like just innately, genetically, they're not as smart as like shepherds.
I don't think
and
they're
retrievers.
not that they're not smart. They're just stubborn. They don't want to be trained.
That's another thing too. Yeah, they are known for being stubborn. Yeah,
I just realized that dog's name is also Simba, the Rottweiler.
the Rottweiler.
Here, put that microphone button. Who was the Russian scientist that experimented with fox to bring him to closer to dogs? Give me a hyperlink where I can see a picture of an original fox versus what the final product looked like.
I'm thinking of Pavlov. That's the one that did the experiments on the dogs with the saliva. valve.
Pavlov was the
Yes.
saliva.
Yes,
Yeah,
getting them to salivate. Yeah, I learned that in
Dmitry
psychology class.
Belyaev, yeah, that's the guy. Dmitry Belyaev. See, these fox started resembling more like dogs, like where their snouts got shorter and their ears started going down, right? So generationally, that's how it happened. Like, they took the wolves that were more prone to people, and then from there, they just kind of evolved. And this is why the big argument we had, the further we go, the more dogs are being more domesticated and they're being nicer than what they used to be, right? Because we constantly breed them for being nice.
So you're telling me that we have teacup chihuahuas because a scientist figured out white girls want dogs in their purses.
That's just a demon, baby.
No, it's just yeah. Teacup Chihuahuas were purely demand, and they literally that like majority of these are because I think like the oldest dogs in the world are like those Mexican dogs. You know,
Yeah, the
hairless
Aztec ones.
Aztec ones are the oldest dogs.
Those are
There's
so
a whole
cool, dude.
chart of dogs. There's an entire chart of dogs where you know, it's kind of, you know what I mean.
What the fuck? Is that dog in that dog?
Yeah,
And a lot of the Russian scientists experimented with this kind of shit where they're like pretty much like would attach a dog to a dog and shit like
it's
that.
fucking snowing 300 days a year. They have to do some shit inside.
No,
Let
I
me
mean
just
they're
sew this
trying
dog
to
to this
yeah,
dog.
they're
You
trying
can't
to
just
create.
drink vodka all day.
They were trying to create that thing, like that mythical, you know, 3-headed dog, right? Like that was the whole idea. But
He ended up with a fucking zombie.
yeah, pretty much.
It's
This
a
looks
live
like-
dog with a stitch.
Humans
dent
have done
on
some
fucking
fucked up
head
shit, I
inside.
can tell you that.
I mean, every time I see shit like this, it's
He's trying
like
to graft it like a tree. He's like, I want 2 different plums.
Yeah.
I want 2 different plums, but I'm gonna put 2 different dogs.
But the thing is, like, you know how we talk about cloning? Cloning's been done back in like 70s or 60s or some shit like that. They've cloned a sheep, completely cloned one sheep from another one.
Well,
Right.
aren't they doing those with like chicken and stuff now? Like it's like made in a lab. Like
Well,
those-
that's you're talking about the chicken meat being made in a lab. Yeah, they already got the
so
science
they're like
for
cloning
it.
it.
Yeah, they got the science for it.
just reminds me of how much drugs they did back then.
That's the thing.
You
They
remember,
didn't do
like, a
any
Vietnam
drugs. bro.
flashback?
What do you mean,
They didn't do any drugs
Who
back then.
said
These
that?
scientists did not. I'm just telling you.
brother? A lot of these scientists did a shit ton of drugs during their experiments. They were on fucking coke, ecstasy, all kinds of shit.
Well, either way, now it's the thing is we have PETA right now, right? Like Greenpeace and PETA. That's why they're not allowing you to do these things.
Pita bread?
Because it's against like animal cruelty, right? Like this is considered animal cruelty. That's why they don't do that. But you know, these people were trying to win the Clone Wars. You know, no pun intended, but they're trying to win the Clone Wars
a good
between
movie.
United States and
Great
Russia,
movie.
right? That was the bottom line, because at the end of the day, they wanted to make the perfect soldier, so they started experiments with the animals, right? Like if that succeeded, then we can do it with humans.
They experimented with a lot of shit back then.
Yeah, it's almost like
Well, look, what's his name?
how
Yoel
many
Romero.
trophies did Ben Affleck win?
Huh?
How many trophies did Ben Affleck win?
Oh, we settled that. Don't worry. We
I know,
settled
I
that.
watched it.
No, we settled it afterwards.
Oh,
too.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ben
okay.
Affleck.
Yeah, y'all were arguing about top tier.
I think this is a great time to end it.
No, I'm not arguing about that one. I clearly demonstrated my point.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here for today, guys. We've got.
Oh no! Before we wrap it up, go see this picture. Look at Chris and this one, and then go to some of his older pictures. The one that's like with a entire group standing. Go down. That picture right there. You can tell, bro, that you've lost shit ton of weight comparing this picture to the other one. Your face is bigger here. You're rounder, which I'm kind of proud of you, bro. Like
I look like Violet from fucking Willy Wonka.
Oh, the blueberry chick.
Yeah, I got
Oh
juiced.
man, that's right.
Emily says, congrats on the win, Chris.
Oh, thank you, Emily.
Yeah. All right. So now we can wrap it up, Jay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you everyone for joining us in the chat. Anyone who's engaged with us, appreciate that. Y'all all are great supporters of us. We really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you, Chris, for coming in for today. Congrats on your win. Can't wait to see many more come out of you, my guy.
Thank you,
It's gonna be
fellas.
nice to
Yeah, let's
watch.
come in January. We'll all go, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad because the VIP tickets were only $50 and we sat literally right there, like 10 feet away from the cage.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if those people bought the VIP tables. I mean, it was cool for his family to be there, you know what I mean, on a VIP table. But I would say, like, if it's similar promotion, VIP tables almost make no sense to buy. You know what I
Yeah, it was
mean?
like $600 for six seats.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad, you know,
Yeah.
and they brought some food and stuff like that, whatever.
Well, yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on Thursday for another episode. And yeah, thank you, Chris. And we'll see you later.